And now I'd like to bring in our final guest of the show, who I'm sure has a lot to say about this, and that's Brad Williams, founder and CEO of Brad Williams Financial Services, a retirement income store in Huntsville, Alabama. Brad, it's great to have you here with us.
Dave, it's great to be here with you and Jeff. I appreciate the opportunity to talk.
It's great to see you, Brad. You know, we're talking about mistakes people make in retirement today. We know the number one mistake a retiree can go through is volatility. So do you find that your people you speak with before they become your customers don't have a good understanding of volatility?
Well, they don't, Jeff. And one reason is that most of them have accumulated in their 401k and they're only used to mutual funds. And that's the only game they think in town. In fact, a lot of them don't even, when you say something about equities or stocks, they say, no, I have mutual funds. You got to teach them that actually you do have stocks. They're just in mutual funds. So they really don't know there's other options out there until we talk.
So really, they don't even understand what the most common or the number one mistake could be. So give us an idea of what you think the top 1, 2, or 3 mistakes our retirees need to avoid when it comes to their money.
Well, again, to echo what you were saying before, is making that transition from the accumulation stage of life to the distribution stage, and then that middle ground of preservation where they're shifting from the growth aspect of their investments to the income. And that's the key that a lot of them don't really think about, is that they're not going to be able to get consistent income from growth, that it's going to have to come from income. And the problem is most of them don't know the tools that are available.
Sure, because if you can't eat growth, because if the market's not growing, you end up eating your own principal value, and that's the opposite of what we want in retirement. And when you say that to, or you show somebody that example, they really kind of get shocked because they say to you, hey, Brad, I didn't really want my retirement to work out like this, correct?
That's right, yeah. And the old analogy of what do you want, the chicken or the egg? Because the egg keeps coming. Once you eat the chicken, it's gone.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
That's a good one, Dave. That's a real good one, Brad.
So you mentioned the 401k before, and I know you always call this having 401k brain when you're invested for growth. That's all you've done in the 401k. And most people think, gee, if I'm not retired, my money is stuck with this limited number of mutual fund options that are in the 401k. But that's not necessarily true if they're over the age of 50, 55, or 59 and a half, depending upon the plan, correct? That's
correct. Yeah, and a lot of them are relieved when they find out that there are other options.
Yeah, and another mistake is, and this is called an in-service, as you know, an in-service rollover. You can roll it over to another account in service, even though you're still working, keep contributing to the 401k, but roll a bunch of it over. But another fallacy I hear a lot of times is people say, well, I can't take it out of the 401k, it's going to be taxable. But if you do this in-service rollover, it's not taxable. It doesn't cost them anything, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And the way I usually put it to them, I said, we can move this from your 401k to an individual IRA to give you choice, and it does not create a taxable event.
Now, you don't want to have them receive the check, right? Because then there's going to be a mandatory 20% withholding. In which case, the only option is to go direct to whatever IRA custodian they've already set up. And that's the only way they can be assured that it's a tax-free transfer and now they can have better income generating options, right?
That's correct. And usually I handhold them through the process by calling their provider, their 401k, with them in the room and going over the options so that they feel comfortable that we've made the right options instead of, giving that as a homework assignment.
That's right. It's easy to mess it up if you do it yourself. So that's what I love about you. You're always so dedicated, Brad, to your clientele and what you do, a true professional. Thanks for being back with us on the show. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It's always a pleasure.